Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of oil and natural gas. I'll go into it, give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. It's not meant to be advice. I'm not an advisor or anything like that. This is just my opinion on how I read charts. I use it to buy at what I think could be short-term bottoms. I cost average in, I hold on, and I play the ratios to determine my value of buy and sell points. The ratio on crude oil, actually, let's get in here real quick. I'll show you the ratio real quick. Let me scroll down, get you that ratio. This is the gold to oil ratio right here. It is dropping down. We're at 16.7 or 8 to 1. So we have been outperforming gold. You can see what it was in 2020. This is your buy point is when this ratio is up here. All this up here is a buy point. And then it came and compressed all the way back down. And we're way down here at 16.8. So our valuation is being used up. It is outperforming. So we're getting our bang for our buck. And I would still hold on, guys. There's no reason to sell. This is the inverse of that chart. This is crude oil itself priced in dollars. This is a continuation pattern. This little bloody nose yesterday, we did continue higher. Nice, good bullish engulfing today. Looks very strong for a continued move higher. Natural gas getting the bloody nose today. Got smacked on its nose, but it looks good. It looks like it wants to continue higher. It's got that nice stair-stepping pattern. XOP moving on up 2%. This is the ETF XOP. I own quite a bit in XOP, to be honest. I bought it January 3rd. Right here, I bought it at $97. I bought a whole bunch of it right here. And I put a good 30% or so, or 30 or 40, 30% of my portfolio of my 401ks in XOP. And we're coming up on resistance here. We're trying to break through it. I think we are going to have a good run eventually. SM Energy, it's just moving sideways today. Well, I should say it gapped up. The momentum is sideways. When I look at these charts, I don't look at the price. I don't look at the 2.8%. I look at the momentum. The momentum, so for instance, on this one here, this gapped up. It went up and then closed lower. The momentum is coming down. And then you see this thing move. This gap down, closed up, momentum's coming back up. And then the momentum comes back up. And all we're doing is I'm using these pivot points in the charts to read. This is a bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing. That means higher, this means lower. Here's another large, bullish, almost engulfing pattern. Usually they go up with that much buying pressure. Another bullish engulfing. And they don't have to. Here's a bearish piercing there. Bearish piercing there. It means, hey, we're slowing down. We're about to turn back lower. Buyers kept coming in, throwing bullish engulfings all over the place. So I do think this is probably going to end itself higher. We're just hitting some resistance right here. Maybe the people don't believe in the move of oil. And remember, it's not me. I'm a huge bull. I believe in it, but it's everyone else. They have to be convinced that this is real and that the move in oil is going to stick around. But this looks good. They all look good, guys. They're sitting on these patterns here, ready to break. They're either on top or about to. They're kind of in this indecisive mood. Crew Energy was another one that was sitting inside of its pattern. I think this is another very good company up in Canada. You can see this thing squeezing up. Callum Petroleum is also squeezing up. It's inside of its pattern. Athabasca Oil sitting on top of its support line there. And it's probably going to roll. You can see this volume kicking up on the right side here. Looks absolutely excellent. Recaf just moving sideways. This is an exploration company. And remember, the explorers move on their own accord. They don't move with the price of oil. If you want something leveraged to oil, I wouldn't buy Recaf. You want to buy something that is leveraged and moves to the price of oil. But this is an explorer that's got a lot, hopefully, a lot of oil. Crescent Point moving on up a little bit today. Again, the momentum doesn't look that great. We're coming into a little bit of selling pressure. Yeah, it gapped higher and then sold off throughout the day is what it did. Looking at Nog's looking, it's throwing in the green day. It opened and it's making its way up. There's a little bit of resistance still, but it's making its way higher. Grand Tier Energy looks like it's on fire, 7.7%. It wants to go. This thing could move. This could be a first leg, like a first leg, a pullback, and then it moves and makes a huge third leg. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to make that claim. It's got a big base that it's jumping from, so that looks great. Tellurian's moving back up. We already knew that. We buy at these sticky points off of downtrend breaks. But that looks good for Tellurian. Pedevgo, small down day today. It looks like it's trying to rest. It's dazed and confused after this short squeeze going on. Oasis is sitting on top of its pattern. It's up there. It's had a pretty good move. If it wants to load, there it is. It's just moving sideways, even though we had an up day. So, maybe some of these guys don't believe in the move of oil, but we'll see what happens with oil. Oil keeps moving up. This will move up. It still looks good though. We've got bullish engulfing here with a nice good move, and then the small leak off of sellers. So that looks fantastic. Comstock Resources, like I said, this thing could move quite dramatically. It's up 11.5% today. And it is a laggard, but again, I bought down here. I said that on the channel. I buy the back test. That's what I do. I can't tell you guys what to do, but that's what I do. And here we are starting to cruise higher. We're going to get a little bit of resistance where I've got that white line. This bottom white line, there's got some resistance. We break that, we could do some cheetah things. Could be a cheetah move. Sandridge is sitting on top of its pattern. It's moving up 5% today, and it's looking quite strong. There's the pattern that we broke. We did a little bit of a retest. Ring Energy is another one that I think looks absolutely excellent. We were up today 3.15, and again, this thing could move at any second. I own shares in it, and I just sit on it. Surge Energy is another one that I think looks very good. On this weekly, it looks fantastic. Could we get a pullback? We'll see, guys. If we get a pullback, I'm buying some more. It doesn't look like it wants to pull back though. Whenever you get these wicks on the bottom like this, somebody's buying it up a little bit. Tamarack Valley Energy, another one that's sitting on top of its pattern and looking good. Crescent Energy, this is the one that bought out our contango, still looking good, moving on up. Vermilion looking okay. And then Meg Energy moving sideways, right on top of its pattern. There's its pattern there. The energy service companies continue to move higher. This is another one that I put in my 401k OIH. I added it on January 3rd. This guy right there. I added it right in that day, 186. And then we've had a nice, good move higher. Because I saw this thing squeezing up. I'm like, I got to get in. And the first time I could get in was January, because that's when we were allowed to buy ETFs. So I sold some of my mutual funds and bought OIH and XOP and URNM and some of these other ones throughout January. Tetra Technologies moving on up. It opened here and ended. No, that's a week. It's got to be a week. There we go. It's moving on up. It's looking okay, guys. Looks good. On a long-term scale, it looks really good. Just sitting way down there. Rig is a drilling company. It's just flapping around all over the place over here, but it's above its downtrend line. And that's where I like buying, guys. I like buying above, right, freshly broken downtrend lines are great. Pump getting a little bit of a sell-off today. Looks a little bit weaker than some of the others. Now EXTN looks absolutely fantastic. This one's got a nice, good basing. Oh man, this thing looks good, guys. This thing looks like it wants to rip it higher. Wow. Valaris moving higher. It is ripping higher. Go Valaris. Again, guys, just hold on to these shares, man. These things are so good. MMA Offshore ripping higher. One that I've been quite vocal about on these updates of me wanting to be a buyer in MRM. It is way down there. It looks fantastic from this standpoint of this break, and oh man, the way that this like pulled back to the way that this kind of pulled back like that means that you're going to shoot higher, and we are. Looks really good. Tidewater's been killing it. That thing's just ripping it higher. NEX has been doing very well. It's been just stair-stepping up. Huge break pattern here. These oil service company, the energy service companies, guys, are doing absolutely awesome things. KLXC is another one that looks really good. Let me zoom in here. There's your booty bottom. It's putting in, getting a little bit of support and resistance. I'd buy it right where it's at if it were me. If you like it, research the company. Make sure you guys like this. CHX is another one I like. It's right at resistance. It's going to break at any second. 9 is moving up higher today, up 16.9%. Like I said, I like buying in these clusters. I forgot to go Cactus Energy. Yeah, not much there. OII is another one I like, right sitting on top of the pattern right here. I like it. Noble Energy, small little up day. I don't know if I'd buy it up here, but I would hold on to it. I own it. HLX is another one I own. Still looking good. CGGYY looks good here. I like it. Man, these all look really good, guys. Petrofac is still looking fine. Nothing bad here, guys. We've already broken to the upside. It's just moving sideways. Sometimes they do this, and we've broken the big picture downtrend of this guy. This. So by looking at this, guys, this could have a big run at some point. It's just going to break, and you're not going to be able to catch it unless you're in it. McCoy Global. This was one brought up by a commenter on the channel, but it looks good. It's broken its downtrend. Everything looks good. It's coming down, sitting. I think this is one that's making more money, more income's coming in. It looks fantastic. Wow, BTU really crushing it on the dailies. Nice, good move there. New Hope is continuing to move higher. Solid moves for coal. These are coal companies, guys. CSUAY, it's up there. Yancoal just moving sideways. Whitehaven. This one looks really good, guys. Whitehaven looks very good with this break here. It looks great. Oh, man. I even wrote it in there. Thundela is another one that's looking quite solid. So, man, all these patterns, guys, they look really good. The energy service sector looks really, it still looks really good. I was talking about that a while back, how the energy service sector was about to break out of all these patterns. I think that was in December or something like that. And they still look good. They're all breaking. So everything is basically performing the way that we thought it would perform, which is good. That's what you want. And selecting some of these companies, I mean, some of them have been just slaughtered to the downside, and I think the opportunity is still there. So it's up to you on what you want to do and what companies you think are good. Do your own research. Get in there, see what the companies are, go on their websites, look at their presentations, see if they're making money, see what their outlooks are, and a lot of them give future outlooks. And if you like the company, if the chart looks good, I'd say that's what I do. I look at them and I say, okay, I'm going to go for it, and that's what I do. If you guys like the analysis, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.